What's up, everybody? Yeah, I fixed the stabs usual. I destarted the whole thing. I'm very curious. I put on a new filter on the camera. Can you guys notice what's different? Because I can almost guarantee like none of it translates. Well, let me put the now playing up real quick. Stream resources, snip. Shush up, there you go. What's up, Kyle? What's up, Yuzo? What's up, Abby? Abby's capping. Jana with the loading icon. What's up, Vex? Thank you, Sympathy. Is that good? Here, I'll show you. Uchi stabs are okay. The first iteration had a really tight. They were really tight keycaps. So right here, there's a filter on, right? Take it off. So if you follow the lights, the line is harder. Put the filter in front. It has a. It looks a little bit. Honestly, it's a little more. It's like hazy. It shouldn't change my face. Now I put this back up. It's for atmosphere. The purple light makes more of a difference. Yeah, changing the lights makes a bigger difference. It's a very small difference. I just run it because I get bored. More lightsabery? Yeah. I feel that. Alright, today while I work on these steps, I will be answering questions from Ask Andy, which is in the Discord. Let's see, Discord. So make sure you feel like you turned on DOF. Are the commands even working? Hold on. Be answering. Oh, there it is. Oh, no, it's not. What the fuck? Yeah. There you go. One with the Harbor 65 prototype. I had to DM them again. I was supposed to build one, then I lost my Discord, so I don't know. I don't know what their username was. We're answering questions from Ask Andy. There's some pretty good questions in there today, or from last week, so they'll be good filler. But someone just commissioned me to do stabs, and to be honest, I accidentally used them, so I pulled another set of DRF2. Luckily, it was Smokies, which is what I have. Can someone give me the invite to the Discord for Harbor 65? Not really, Rescue. You have to clean them, and cleaning them is a pain in the ass. What's doing? I have a little bit ADD. Smooth this monitor back so it doesn't distract. Yeah, so holy modding. I normally just holy mod the spacebar, but as you noticed yesterday on the Twitch stream with the plume, holy mod still had an issue. Like that was like a very weird issue. It wasn't like particularly just a rattle or just a tick. It was like a rattle into a tick. Quite unlucky. I didn't solder in the new board yet, but I desoldered today, and then I swapped the stabilizer, something brand new, and it doesn't have the issue anymore. Is millimaxing the Thera 75 a bad idea? Yeah, it's a bad idea. Deadly. It's not really gonna work. And as I will be primarily doing questions from Ask Candy, please consider using Super Chat, and I'll make sure I answer your questions so I don't miss it. Because I am not just sitting here reading the chat, I might miss some things. And with Super Chats, you can help support the channel, so I thank you ahead of time. I feel like I'm short one housing, so I need to get more. Let's see. 1, 2, 3. No, I'm good. I have enough. Looks like ID 80. Looks ID 80. I don't know. KBD 75 V3 is a pretty good option, but then it's like compressed 75. I've only used Band-Aid. You should always use the stab washers. They're for ESD. It's not foolproof protection, but it helps a lot. You'd have to remove the lube prior to doing holy, which is a big pain. What's up, Xavier? Alright, so I'm gonna scroll through Ask Andy. Someone asked me what are my thoughts on Thera 75. I reviewed it. Someone didn't know my last name was Nguyen or Win, not Wing. That was whack. What plate material goes best with inks? I usually recommend palm. You can use anything. Aluminum works pretty thoughtfully. Someone asked if the Freebird 60 was flexi. That's 17R nose or it looks like Jason's. The Freebird 60 is not a flexible board. Not really. Let's organize this. So I don't really need this. Well, I'll probably screw it in so the screws don't end up going into the stab housing. Very close to 20k, Matthew. So close. Summon cherry top H1s. What can you use cherry tops for? You can cherry top all kinds of switches. Cherry top H1s is one of the common ones. Thank you, Zente. I haven't looked at the Epoch 80 yet. Unusual ask Brutal 60 opinions versus tofu. They both sound hollow. They both need like modding. I feel like we should test a Brutal 60 silicone modded. Someone asked palm or FR4 plates for alpacas. Usually FR4 and alpacas are a great pairing. I can actually keep it in a separate bag. I don't need to screw it in. If chicken had lips, could it whistle? I don't think chickens make that noise. Play for black cherry pies. I'm not really sure. I don't really like black cherry pies. Yeah, like I used it plateless. It's okay. I would guess like an aluminum or an FR4. I don't really know. Jexo asked, do I balance stab bars? I don't. I don't think we as humans can balance stab bars properly. Do you think the Rama car is worth the money? Depends. GB or aftermarket? Rama stuff on aftermarket is like super expensive for some strange reason. It's kind of whack. My favorite switch is inks. What's up, McMerlin? Y'all should follow McMerlin on YouTube because it's very detailed. Make sure you ask him to make longer than 5-minute videos because he loves the long videos. I'm just kidding. But check him out though. He does more detailed GB reviews than me. He's smarter than me. I'm just a dum-dum. Like a dum-dum who lost his lube. Where's my lube? I haven't tried Zaku's. Go to shoes for that. Keycon Q1 would benefit from silicone. I can't really review the Q1. Not yet. I'm embargoed. Can't really talk about it. NK65 want to restocks? I don't think so. NK65 is like old news because of the plate mount stabs. You don't really want plate mount stabs these days. Next says Merlin says unsubbing now. Think 65.5 V1 worth it if you like the sound. There's not a lot of thick. I don't think there's any other thick PC integrated plate. Like 5mm. If you prefer it, you prefer it. I really liked it with the alpacas. Vaughn, don't call me daddy. Shh. Are the marshmallow switch similar to the black inks? No, they're not. They're not at all. Not at all. I use 205G0, the holy mod. Some people do XHDBZ, but I like 205G0 because it doesn't like interfere with it as much. Nice looks, had to constantly add more loot to the right side stab like over and over. You shouldn't have to do that. Ferdin says, "Do you think some ticking can come from keycaps?" Yes. If you have like warped spacebar keycap, it can cause ticking, or even like uneven screwing of the stabilizer. I use both 205G0 and SHD at different times as Steven. So since I'm doing holy mod today, I'm only using 205G0. I've tried hyperguides. They sound like switches. They're a little bit more consistently smooth than MX Blacks, but like they're not vintage MX Blacks. They're not super duper smooth. Quickly, Texas asked if I'm a jeans model. I did do some modeling for the perfect jean. I used SHDBDs on 2U stabs and I've been okay except one time. One time it ended up ticking. Were the yellows delivered? Yes, I got yellows. I honestly need to check my emails. Okay. Wait, Vex. So you sent me yellows to break in? Is that the switch you want to break in? Are stocks hyperglide smoother than creams? Or just like a different kind of scratch? Yeah, tape mod is a non-permanent mod, so I prefer that over the PE foam. Hyper asks, what's my preferred method or mods to tune stabs? It would be the holy mod, which I'm doing right now. No, I cannot give any thoughts on the Q1. What do you think okay penguin switches? Pengu switches? I don't know what pengu switches are. Does the mat actually work? Which mat? Huh? This mat? Do you notice the wire scraping against the fabric when you lightly press on the spacebar? No, because you have lube on the wire. Top 3 favorite GMK sets? My favorite is GMK Muted, but I really have an affinity toward GMK Taro and GMK DNG. I've never had to redo a holy mod because that would be bad. You can't redo holy mod. You'd have to desolder your entire board. Evil with 2 L's asked, what are the differences in sound between PC housing and nylon housing and switches? It depends. SP Star Meteor Whites are full nylon, but they're clacky as hell, whereas a full nylon in JWK ends up being deeper. But the material differences in the material breakdown of the top and bottom is never like revealed. So like a switch like the Fierce Girl, which is a JWK with full nylon, sounded a lot like a banana split, which is more close to an alpaca than it is a JWK Giant V3, which is full nylon, which is closer and deeper, or more toward an ink. So there's like a whole spectrum, and the switches are all a little bit different, but also because they're only a little bit different, they're all more or less the same. Which is why I'm not really much of a proponent of buying switches every time it drops. You don't need that FOMO. I don't know if you're gonna get as much of a difference in experience by just buying new switches all the time. But you'll have to suffer in looping again. And then Evil asks, would you know for SP Star Meteor White versus Polaris Gray? I've never used the gray. I only use the Meteor Whites for SP Star. Clacky TKL boards? TKL boards lean a little bit deeper because they're bigger. How do I balance my wires? I don't balance them, Benji. I literally just holy mod. A keyboard that doesn't sound muted? Phoenix, in the server, there's a keep help, and we pinned a little questionnaire. Join the server, fill out that questionnaire, and people can help you find the board. Because the stock like varies all the time, and maybe you want a GB and 7 in stock. I've not given a plumber's mod a try. Why people recommend fabric band-aids over the silicone? I feel like I just use fabric, and I compress a little using tweezers. Best stock switches. People have been saying J-Wicks are pretty good stock. I got some coming in. I need to check if they're moving. I did not try the hippo switches. Hippos are partially unwipe, right? I hate unwipe materials in switches. KVD67 Lite is better than the NK65E because it uses screw-in stabilizers. Chucky says, I noticed you were able to disassemble it there without desoldering switches, but you mentioned in your review that you recommend soldering after the PCB is in. Yeah, you can take apart the case, but the PCB stays stuck to the top. In the Discord server, Lawrence. Do I like GMK Paul? Looks good. Nice, David. Congrats. It's a pretty solid board. What do you think of texture GMK ABS compared to other plastics such as Keycark or EVBT? I don't really care about the texture. Unusual acid S. Any worth paying extra for NOS vintage box over retooled? No. Never. NOS are not broken in. Unless you plan on truly breaking it in stock, which is a waste of time, don't worry about NOS, which stands for new old stock. It has like the old vintage tooling, but don't worry about it. It's too much. Like, if you really want that stuff, you wouldn't be asking me for advice. BLT says, how was your day? Dude, I'm tired. I keep slacking to try to get into the stream. But we'll be fine. So, I've looted all the housings, now we gotta do band-aids. I was trying to go to the gym this morning, but I missed it again. So we'll try to go after the workday. It's after the stream. Nguyen says, what are my favorite 65% keyboards and what are my favorite linear switches? My favorite 65 just varies. It changes. It used to be Vega. I feel like Vega is still the most well-rounded. Thanks, Rarens. I am in the SAS75 GB and Sagittarius GB and the Primus. I'm still waiting for the Primus to ship. I'm not in any keycap GBs because they're all too long. I've been in the hobby since November 2019. I've been making content since December and January. Like January, I would say January. I started streaming in March 2020. Clack and Poppy, Thok, Thack? What's Thack? The mode 65, or mode 80 or mode 65? Mode 65? The top mount, so it leans a little deeper. Not like a gaskety deep, just kind of like a deep. My favorite keyboard right now is my unicorn. I need tweezers. I don't have any key sets coming in because I'm not in keycap GBs. The purpose of holding mounting stabs is to reduce the chance of it ticking and rattling. It pretty much solves the issue of ticking. Rattle can still happen. The wire is like really shitty. It's like super meticulous, which is why you'll be capping saying like, oh, the stream is going to take a subathon. What strings I recommend for tactiles? Do whatever your fingers feel like. Spring way is a very personal thing. Would you apply electrical tape to the bottom of the staircase work as an alternative case home? Yeah, that's basically tape mod. Chucky. Is there an alternative for CRP R4? No. CRP or CRP? CRP is thicker than EPBT. If you consider EPBT an alternative to CRP, then yeah, you can get EPBT. But like, in terms of getting those colorways and that look, those are like, you can't get another tulip. There's only tulip. Or there's only CRP. How often do I change my daily driver board? Maybe once every few days. But I'm just running this right now. This unicorn. How do I feel about O-rings? Are you talking about gummy O-ring or O-ring for bergamot? There's always two. And there's even like, from the preview world, putting O-rings on the freaking stems of switches. What's my artisan? It's an S-Craft Pikachu. Playlist built for flex and softness on my salvation, but I want to use BCPs with a long stem to negate the softness. I don't think it would negate the softness, but I really didn't like BCPs on playlist. I did on my Juby. It did mess with the feel. I just didn't like it. Cerakote anodized finish. This is Eco. Eco by Singa's Factory. essentially a 1 of 1, which is cool. Cool for the flex. What's the most I paid for a key? I paid over 2,000 before, and then I sold it. I sold it back. I was like, this is dumb. Why did I do this? Jelly Epoch and Chimera 65. What's your budget? Chimera is a better board. The gasket is better in my opinion, but the jelly has a jelly sound that a lot of people have been liking. So if you're doing a holee mod, I like using 205G0, not SHT, but some people like XHT. If you go XHT, you gotta go super light. Don't go too heavy, you'll mess it up. So Cobb from Ask Andy asked, what's my favorite thing about the community I built up? So I'm gonna go face cam for this. The community I built up has been very strong, and for the most part non-toxic. We don't fuck with people, we don't bully people, stuff like that. And when the shit hit the fan with my whole thing with people leaking shit about me, me losing my Discord, people just like mocking me and trying to disenfranchise me as a creator in this hobby, my community remains strong. So it's super dope, and I'm very proud of the members of my community. I don't worry about you guys. You guys moderate yourselves. Sometimes there's a little bit of weirdos going on, but we take care of that. Y'all are amazing, and it makes me proud to call you guys my community. So some creators, they lose control of their community, and they try to just like turn a blind eye as to what their community does. Nah, the Nguyen gang, Andy Teaches Tech, Andy V Nguyen, YouTube, Twitch, patrons, YouTube members, y'all are fucking dope, and it's super cool. What's the next question? Ryan asks, is there a better board than Frog TKL in a similar price range? I honestly would run with the 8X rather than the Frog. The Frog looks nicer though. Lisa asked, what's my first custom board? It was a KBD67 Mark II. Let's pop back over to YouTube chat. Once again, if you really want me to answer your question, super chats are available, and if you want to join the community, you can join using the join button on the stream. You get perks like early access videos and channel member level 2 and above. You get access to the Patreon channel in the Discord, where I give away, or I give sick deals. Today we sold our Vega. The Vega's gone though. I sold artisans. I sell like, for the most part, when I need to sell something, I go to my moderators, I go to my patrons first. Baker's Tut, what's up? What do you do these days, man? Are you still working in engineering? I'm still trying to get to the public sector, bro. How's being a daddy? Daniel says, budget same for me. Someone's selling Chimera for the same price as the jelly. I mean, get a Chimera. I like the Chimera more. But please don't pee from the Chimera, please. Got emotional, Ken? Ken says chile up. Dude, the TikTok VOD, not only did I die, the thing got like copyright strike. I was like, what the fuck? I regret doing all that. Man, I feel like this is not sticky anymore. I feel like I need to cut all the strips at the same time. Thoughts on Black Chair, but I don't really like it. My favorite ergo keyboard layout? I like Alice's, but Alice's aren't true ergo. I'm playing Apex, trying to catch up. Do I have over 100 keyboards with prototypes adding up? I don't have over 100. I own like 5, and I'm trying to sell like 2 of them. I own like 5. And in terms of protos, I have like 4 in the house. That's it. Like, I don't keep the boards. I give them away. And I just don't buy that much in the hobby because I don't think we need to buy that much. I don't want to be a model of excess, bro. Like, other streamers, they really love collecting stuff and buying stuff, and I'm just not about that. I grew up hella poor, dude. So now, just because I can buy keyboards, I don't want to buy keyboards. You know? That's why you see Striker all the fucking time. It's not because I love Striker that much. It's because it's one of the only keycap sets I have. I mean, I have minimal, right? But I'm using it right now. I try to be a steward of personal finance, bro. Hopefully it comes off. Trying to cut these band-aids. Bro, this is gonna take a long ass time. Just making construction plans. That's cool. I kind of want to go back and just do like lower level work and stop the fucking grind to get to the top of engineering, because I don't find that fulfilling anymore. But we'll see. I got murdered in the last year. COVID work has been crazy. They overworked me to hell. TGR JMP film? Don't do that, Keegan. What's up? RK61, GK61? I honestly don't know the difference. I use vanilla OBS. I don't use Streamlabs OBS. I really don't like BCPs. The sound isn't that great. Personally, I just don't like. I really. Here's two things. I don't like the feel of long stem Franken switches. The sound of like a cream paka or a creamsicle is pretty good. But the black cherry pie just went to the deep side of sound for me, and it wasn't that pleasant to hear. I did it, but I haven't used those switches since, and the community doesn't like it either. Every time I put up the option for running BCPs in a board, they're like, "Nah, we want something else." The chat wanted to see like OP blacks more than BCPs, but that might have to do with the fact that BCPs cost so much to make, right? So no one cares. They'd rather have a switch that they can just buy and use. You know what I mean? I've tried the PTFE tape instead of band-aids and removes the leathery feel. My stabs don't feel leathery, bro. Not if you're lubing the wire. Yeah, I saw a mod that was called some other sexual innuendo, and I was like, bro, really? We're gonna make everything about keyboard sexual now? Nice keyboard pad. It's cool. How many hours a week was I working on my engineering job? Bakers. Yo, I was working like I would start work at like 8:30, right? I would work until 8. On stream days, I would try to get off by like 6:30 so I could stream. And then on days where I wasn't streaming, I was working until 8, 9, 10. I've done a few all-nighters and they just made me go back to work the next day. They were like, dope. Thanks for the deliverable. And they hit me hard with another 8 to 10 hour, or like another 10-hour day. I was like, bro, couldn't we just like cut me some slack? Like I just didn't sleep for y'all. And they're like, nah. What could be the reason why my stabs are still mushy with the wire moving after holee plus lube? You need to squish down the band-aid. It might be too thick. Try cherry with kale black stem. I don't want to buy any more Franken switches. Keegan says, any one day when I have money, I'm gonna mail you a TGR Jane with P foam tape modding Aqua Kings. No fucking way. Please don't. I'll open it and be like, what the hell? TGR Janes might not even be that hype in the future, you know? Might be a new next thing. Rat says, my Freebird came in and I have the best combo with it. Palm play and Gator Inks V1. That is the best combo. 100%. That is a Xi mouse pad, David. What I think of the Brutal? The Brutal's kind of hollow. Salaried Baker. Because that's actually working overtime without pay. Yeah. Bro, they didn't even let me get food, bro. I would ask my boss like, yo, like, we're working late. Can we get dinner? You know what he said? You know what he said? He was like, well, if you get dinner, we're gonna just have to work longer. I don't know about you, but I'd rather finish work and go home earlier. I'm like, you're not kidding? You're not. No, you're serious. Oh, you're serious. I guess I'll starve. Bro, That's corporate, man. Corporate be crazy. I wasn't about that, man. I was like, seriously, yo, can I just like Uber eat some shit? Okay, I just get some fries. Civil engineering, land development, VD. I gotta join the Great Resignation. That's where I am right now. I haven't heard about those, Han. Scott says nice too. Baker says I work strictly 8 to 5, nothing more. Yo, let me know if your company's hiring, if you can get off at 5. Yeah, I got taken advantage of for sure. And then after all that, they were like, you ain't working hard enough. Get out of here. I was like, all right, I'm a streamer now. Do I think the hobby's worth getting into? Yeah, if you have self-control. But people will be buying too much stuff out of fear of FOMO. Or FOMO. Did my jelly sound hollow without case foam? No. Alternatives to the brutal? There's plenty. I reviewed 260% on my channel. 2 days ago, I've modded my DRV2 with FC mod and wired balanced them on my KD67 Lite, day and night difference. Nice. I can't balance wires reliably. In my first job at a restaurant, Keegan says, my manager told me I should dump my girl at the time so I can work more hours. Bro, get the fuck out of here. Yo, my homie got a new job, right? And on the second day, he like left at 6:06 and his 8 hours was up at 6. The fucking boss passively aggressively texted him and said, I'm surprised that you would leave so early. I thought you would want to leave a good impression on your first week. He fucking quit right then and there. I was like, that's fucked. I would get the hell out of there. Baker says, we don't really do land development, mostly just water resource infrastructure. Bro, I can learn that easy. I've done pumps for storm drains, poop waters, also known as sewers. Water treatment plant, not really. Wells, not really. Can we get a petition for Gateron to make Inks V3? Why would you do that? They broke Inks V1 by making it worse. In the V2 version, I don't think they would go backwards and remake the golden age of the V1. That's pretty cool, huh? I haven't heard of those. I do holy mod my stats, mostly the spacebar. Of course I would spring swap hyperglides. Aren't those like 80 gram spring stock? It's kind of ridiculous. Let's go back to Ask Andy. Jasudin asks what switch sound would sound best? What switch would sound best on PBT keycaps for FR4 KBD67 Mark II? Prefer clacky? Switch? Jasudin? Clacky is gonna be a JWK. He asked about Tangies. Tangies are pretty good. Did they change the leaf on the stem or Ink V2s? I think they changed the stem. Keegan. People are super against the holy mod. Who's people? Are we talking about that one vendor who was like saying people who holy mod don't know how to do stabs? Because that sounds like elitism in fucking stabilizers, and that's hilarious. If you don't tune your stabs properly, then you are a noob. Like, maybe I just don't like ticking, bro. What do you think is the best keyboard under 150 USD? Probably KD67 Mark II or the AK68 Aurora. Huno Holy Tom switches. It sounds like you're making stuff up, no lie. Okay. Nice. Nice. Who is this vendor? Why would we give the vendor publicity? We don't need to give him publicity. What are the cons of holy mod? I haven't found one. That couldn't be resolved. So some people say it's mushy. But you just gotta press down the band-aid a bit if you have a thicker band-aid. Sometimes it makes more stabs more mushy. I have not had mushy stabs. I'll show you what I'm doing right now. I don't know what my screen looks like. Hold on. Covered my OBS. Alright. So I take the tweezer. Is this not autofocus? And I push down like this. Hold on. That's not looking tight. That's not looking tight. So, focus. Yeah, okay. I just push down. Flatten it out a bit. And I move on. So if you don't do that, you just gotta press the switch after. You have to go buy band-aids, that's the con. You don't get boo-boos in your house? You never bleed? Are you not human? I have band-aids. To be fair, I did have to buy more band-aids because I blew out my band-aid stock because I was doing holee mod. The Huino Holy Tom are more like a tactile budget Holy Panda. They're also called blue-white SE switches. I'm much more of a linear fan, so I don't really know what's happening with the tactile stuff. What's the weirdest layout I've ever seen? Yo, we saw that. Can someone link the board that is that's literally a metal frame for an entire GMK set? Someone posted that on the server. I was like, what? I don't really like lavenders. The inconsistency bothers me. Out of my like 100, it was hard for me to get 60 something good ones. That was fucked up. I feel like this band-aid's not sticky anymore. That's not good. Okay, this is like, I don't think I can let it just hang out. Fuck, I need to cut more. Key mats are pretty sick, friend. I'm using a key mat right here. Key mat, if you want to buy. Do you do GB review on YouTube or Twitch? Usually Twitch. Are my commands even working, man? I feel like my bots are slacking. Some are more scratchy than others in a very distracting way. So, if you've ever tried to cherry pick Hyperglides or MX Blacks, you'll notice that some are scratchier than others in the stock form. Same thing with lavenders. There was a good like 25%, maybe less, maybe 20% that was just like really scratchy. I was like, what the hell? They didn't stick like Aqua Kings. So the Aqua Kings were like binding. There was no binding, but it was scratchy. And I was like, what? They're JWKs. YouTube chat is really delayed. Probably. It took like 2 weeks to break in. Yeah, gotta get a break-in machine, man. I did not try this Icky without the silicone damper. I actually didn't even get pour-on gaskets. I'm getting a Mizu Icky 68 Aurora with a custom badge from Utre, and I hope they give me silicone damper or pour-on gaskets. I wouldn't feel good cherry picking labs at the price they are, for real. That's why too. They're more expensive than regular JWKs. But I heard the new hype is the J-Wicks, bro. People will be digging the J-Wicks. So I got a set of 90. And I'll check its stock. I wanna throw it into a gasket build and see if it's usable stock. And if it's good, I'll let y'all know. When's the Raid Shadow Legends sponsorship coming? We joke about that, but I did get reached out. You know what's funny? So when they proposed it twice. The first time they said it's gonna be like $200. I ignored it. The second time they said, oh, it was Streamlabs. They said, we have a game for you. We just need you to stream it, and then you can get a certain amount of money plus more, up to a certain amount. I was like, the up to the amount looked pretty good, and I was like, wait a second. I got a feeling in my stomach. I got some spidey senses, and it might be Raid Shadow Legend. And I was like, what's the game? And they're like, it's Raid Shadow Legend. I'm like, why didn't you lead with it? If you have to like hide it and like delay the reveal of it, maybe people don't want to do it. It was hilarious though. I was like, it's fucking Raid Shadow Legends. I showed my mods and they're like, bet you it's Raid Shadow Legends. And they were right. They were right. It's funny. But no, we're not doing Raid Shadow Legends. And I'm trying to avoid those CD key ones. The CD key sponsors are a little sus too. So if we get more patrons, we get more like super chats, we get more YouTube channel members, then we can avoid those things. But if push comes to shove and I'm not getting income from YouTube AdSense, I'm not getting income from Amazon Associates, and not enough keyboard sponsors, then I have to do what I have to do to pay the bills. But I'm gonna try to avoid it. We do both KSJ, Twitch and YouTube. We're hybrid. Apparently the Aqua Kings are fixed. There's a new version, but I'm not gonna be the one testing it. So they did revise it, so I think the binding is resolved. I just don't like being a guinea pig twice. Do people actually play that game? When creators do mobile game sponsors, here's the thing. So I'm a creator, and I'm not that big of a creator, but I barely have free time as is. The biggest creators, so like, Phil DeFranco just did a mobile game ad today, and he was talking about the game. He says how he plays it and stuff. I'm like, cat, like, how the hell would Phil DeFranco, who runs essentially a YouTube news agency, have time to play mobile games? But he ran the ads. So I'm like, yo, you do you, respect, but I don't believe for a second you actually play it. I am a full-time creator, actually. Been doing this full-time for 5 months. Ticking should not happen with stabs. Yeah, I have the Gazoo LTs here too. The breaking machine is a real thing. Whoa, what happened? I don't even know what that is. I need 1469. Thank you, Daniel Eden. There's delayed. Keep doing what you're doing. Appreciate your awesome content. Thanks, Australia. It's morning for you, right? Wait, they actually play Raid Shadow Legends like regularly? That's super weird, because I'd rather use my GPU and play cooler games. That's just me. Okay. Dude, I feel like these band-aids are just not sticking. It's sick, it's also scary, it's also stressful. In the few months I've been doing this, I've already had to make a tweet longer, to apologize. Not really apologize, but mostly address something. I've been canceled, or there's been attempting of canceling me. I've almost had to hire an attorney for defamation, and then people were trying to basically dox me by sharing my private information. So it's, oh no, yeah, and we got a Discord hack. So it's been a lot. It's been a lot. It's been pretty ridiculous. Alex says I look like Nigahiga. I've gotten that before. 9:30 a.m. Friday, been up since 3 a.m. gawking at keyboards. Daniel, go to sleep. What's the nicest thing you've seen this morning? Green says every stab used, even ones with holee, have gone a bad tick. That's really weird, because holee basically prevents it from ticking for me. And the only issue I have is rattle. Would you go from a GK61 being broke as shit? KD67 Lite is the cheapest custom. You can't buy Gator and Ink V1s anymore unless you buy from people. That's a weird sound. My fiance is using lotion chat and it just sounded weird. Hand sanitizer? Okay. I just heard squirts come out from somewhere. I don't know. I don't know if the noise gate blocked it. You made Aqua on my stream. OA styles are good at preventing popping, but the stems have been pretty tight. I don't know if the new ones have been fixed. Alright, good night, David. Get some rest. Don't be like me with the freaking panda eyes. Later, Akshay. Krytos as a sanitizer? I don't think that's what it's used for. My favorite in-stock keycaps? GMK white on black. It's super boomer and super boring, but like it's more or less accessible on Amazon. So I think that's pretty dope. Sound test my unicorn after the stats. I should post a video of it, huh? Do I have a sound test on my channel already with the EY unicorn with the inks on palm half? I don't think I do. Can someone check? Are there any boards I'm looking forward to? I'm looking forward to my GBs finally fulfilling after freaking 13 months so I can sell them. I didn't buy them to flip, but at this point, I've gone from liking keyboards, willing to wait for them, and now I've reached the point where I'm about to get married and I need my money back. It's been too freaking long. Are cherry screw-in styles better than GMK screw-in styles? I feel like they're the same. A cherry screw-in? I thought it was just snap-in. Honestly, the delays got me not even wanting to buy more GMK stuff for real. Like, I feel bad. Y'all asked me like what GMK or GBs I'm looking forward to. I'm like, ugh. The whole process is making me feel kind of bad about myself. Yeah, Mech Market is whack. You know what's funny about Mech Market? If they realize someone that's selling something is a creator, they'll start downvote brigading it. I've gotten that has happened to me so many times. And this last post I did was retail and under retail, so I didn't get downvote brigaded. But if I even try to even consider trying to sell it on market, it gets downvote brigaded. What sounds you typically get out of palm versus PC plates? It's really hard because it just depends on the switch too. I feel like palm is a little deeper, but some people are saying PC is deep too. I'm like super confused. It's like PC hasn't been popular, so it's hard to remember. I know nothing about keyboards, but I've never even built a computer. I'm so lost these terms acronyms being used. Hey Baker, you want me to make you a keyboard? I can make you one. This is a 60% keyboard. So when I do my arrows, I'm curious how you feel. I have to hold caps lock to go to another layer and up, left, down, right arrow. How do you feel about that? Does that hurt you? It hurts me a little when I'm trying to like make videos. I really want there to be another run of WoB black and white Hangul. I'm gonna wait 2 more. There's EPBT Hangul now for GB if you're into that. Keyboard lesson 101. Yeah, 60%. They hurt you a little bit, but they're so nice. What's the benefit of holee mod if your stabs are fine as is? If your stabs are fine, don't worry about holee mod. But a lot of us have had bad experiences after it's built, and holee mod has been a way to consistently make it not tick for me. Because I build for other people, I need the most reliable method of tuning stabs, and holee mod has been the most reliable. Because I've had 2 clients in my entire run where they have told me, hey, my stabs are ticking now. I'm like, oh shit, just send it back to me. So I pay for them to ship it back to me. I rebuild it for free with new stabs, and then that's just too much. Like, it's hard for me to do something that doesn't end up ticking because stabs just vary from the manufacturer. Do you think you're losing interest in the hobby, Keegan asks? Things start happening to me. Yeah, I am more or less losing interest. I like studying new things that are cheap, but in terms of like that old feeling of, oh my god, I'm really excited about this GB. It's currently IC. The GB starts in 3 months, and the GB period is 6 months. Oh, I just want to make sure I get in those first few slots and buy it, and I'm gonna wait for it patiently for the next 6 to 9 months. Nah, there is very little reason. Like, there's nothing that excites me enough to be willing to do that anymore. A lot of it feels like the mid to high end range of keyboards feels a little bit stale right now. There's a lot of like same design being done over and over and over. 565 or Kara? I feel like they're different tiers. Isn't Kara plastic? Good case foam suggestion. PE case foam. I thought maybe my bear sound muted. Case foam just makes things muted, but you can go thinner. So if you think it sounds too muted, go thinner. Like 1/32" is a good standard for thin that does not mute too much. Dex says I've always been kind of that way. Dude, some people will be willing to enter a lot of GBs. Flora says, do you think someone will eventually produce new stats and won't rattle or tick? I hope. The stabies were supposed to be better, but they still needed to be lubed. And I'm like, if they need to be lubed, they more or less might end up ticking again. King XF asked and Ask Gandhi, tactiles on PC or FR4, specifically Texi Amethyst. I don't know about Texi Amethyst, but I'd rather do a stiffer plate for tactiles, but it boils on preference. I would say start with like an aluminum brass at lowest in FR4, and then go like plastic if you feel like trying it. Sailor says, what was the most difficult challenging thing you faced when you applied for the job photographer in X company? High standards, high requirements. How did I cope with that obstacle? So in terms of applying to be a photographer at another company, I've never applied to be a photographer at another company. I did shoot as in like a second photographer for a first in wedding photography, and it was not really a company. It was kind of like I cold emailed them. I cold emailed a bunch of photographers, and I was like, hey, I know how to shoot. This is my Instagram. This is my portfolio. Can I learn from you? And after like talking to a lot, someone met with me, and then I started assisting them in shooting as their second. It's not really high standards, high requirements. It's whether or not you can kind of mesh your personality with theirs. I think most people understand the foundation of photography. And in terms of applying for a videographer, I recently got hired within a bigger company, and that was a phone call. And in the phone call, I showed them what I knew, but also I showed them that I knew how to deal with people. And knowing how to interact with people is the most valuable thing in any field. So if you know how to talk to people, you're gonna go far. Thanks for that question, Sailor. Stan asked the difference between palm and PC plates. That question was asked just now too. They're both flexible, they just have different sound. I think the feel is similar. Hypnos asked the difference between aluminum and FR4 plates. Aluminum is metal, FR4 is not. So aluminum kind of like ping won't really exist on an FR4 plate. Aluminum and FR4 are both pretty universal in that it can be used with most linears and most tactiles without it sounding distracting. I like aluminum more for the universal use. FR4, I have certain use cases for it. I think I like MX Blacks more on aluminum than FR4, and tactiles on aluminum more than FR4. But linears can go either way. BFF Ninja asks, looking for a visually interesting 6%, any recommendations? A 60%, they're all boring looking, bro. 60% is the most boring from the top. Just look right here. This is my 60, and it's just a rectangle. It looks like a goddamn tofu, but it is a unicorn, one of the most sought after 60s. But it looks like a tofu from the top. Alice layout's pretty cool. There's a lot of Alice layouts coming out these days. What's the sound test on the background of me? That is a Mysterium in a Switch Couture case, and it has moths on palm plate. In my opinion, Taylor's mod, Plumber's mod is greater than Taylor's mod is greater than Holee mod. I haven't tried anything else because the Taylor mod specifically looks like a pain in the ass, so I'm not gonna do it. That's it. If it looks like it's gonna take a lot of time, I'm not gonna do it because I have to do it a lot. It's gonna arrive like in 5 years. Isn't it supposed to arrive in September? Your left shift and backspace keys are always a little bit more sluggish than enter. It might be that your screws are uneven, or your spacebar keycap is warped, or it's overlubed. Ego asks, are there any budget Alice boards I've seen? That would be the Switch Couture Alice. You're welcome, Sailor. Glad you could see the question in the stream. 60% HHQ will be fired. Dude, I need my control for game. Is there any practical downside to choosing a hot swap PCB over a solderable PCB? With hot swap, you can't do multiple layouts. If you look at the Iggy 68 Aurora, to accomplish multiple layouts, what they had to do was rotate some of the kill hot swap switches, or kill hot swap switches or positions. And with that, rotating them can cause interference in certain rows of keycaps for cherry profile. That's why it's not all hot swap. So a 60%, right? You can have this layout, which is saying in bottom. You can have split backspace. You can have caps lock, step caps lock. If you do If you do full backspace, you can't really do split backspace if it's mil max because of the stabilizer position. I think you may be able to do with kill hot swap. But like this corner right here, you're gonna have a lot of stacked kill hot swap. They did it with the Freebird, but a lot of people are concerned of keycap interference. KSJ says tampon mod 1. How about tampon mod for case foam? Do you think it was worth it as a person new to the hobby to get into it, or should I use money for other things? You can get into a hobby, but set a hard budget for yourself. Don't expand the budget. The problem is, if you try to get like $100, $200 keyboard, you have to put another $200 on other stuff, like stabilizers, tools, keycaps, switches, lube, film, spring swaps. It adds up. I think it's a fun hobby because there's a lot of experimentation that you can do, especially if you buy a hot swap board. You can kind of tinker, and it kind of like scratches that part of your brain that likes tinkering. But it can get out of hand quickly. Like there are a few people I'm really sus about their spending habits, but I'm not here to judge them. It's like they're buying a lot. I was like, oh, okay. Hopefully you got it like that, bro. But I think it's fun. I bought J-Wix to try. I haven't tried them yet. Does 7U spacebar took more than 6.25U? I mean, it could. Haven't really personally experienced that. It's a possibility. These are Jarfy 2s. Camry. Yeah, you gotta update that, Brody. I updated it today because I sold a few things. There's an FR4 and Palm, or they're just different. Palm is more flexible. Sound is different. Just listen to the sound test. Speedrunner mode on? Yeah, not really. There's a lot of questions, and I appreciate the question. Sold my car for the new Kiko, but it's fine. I can walk for 6 months. Hey, it depends on where you live, bro. All right. I think I need a PCB to test these on. I don't think I'm gonna do that this stream. We've been going for an hour. Okay. Speedrunner. Oh, speedrunner in the keyboard world of spending. Some people do that. They come in and they just buy the big hype stuff and then they leave. And I'm like, that's not really what the hobby is all about. You're not really gonna appreciate the more expensive stuff if you just buy straight out the jump. Straight out the gate. Okay, let me just remove these. So I need a PCB to test these on. So far I've lubed the housings and the stems are dry, but they just get inserted into the lubed housings. I joined early this year. I've already dropped 3.5k on all the GBs. That hurts, but it happens. It's really hard to enter as like someone younger. Yeah, KSJ, Excel spreadsheet for the GBs. Zedge asks, best TK on the $300 to $450 range? There's a lot of budget ones. It's really hard to pick. I mean, the K8 exists. The Frog exists. Like KBD8X exists. There's a lot. The dude who won the KC Raffles his first kit, I was sus of that dude, but I checked his account. It looked legit. He joined the server a little bit before, like 3 months ago. Big dub. UTD 360 is nice, but it's a fake, so like some people may not like it. It's a great sounding board, but it's because it's a Chinese, it's like a carbon copy of the OTD. Heavy switches, heavy springs make it sound cleaner because you're not bottoming out as hard. I sold the Frog today already. So it was local sale. I posted on Reddit. Yeah, some people just don't like the idea that it is a fake at all, so. The sound test of the UTD on my channel is pretty sick. if you're a teen in this hobby, you got it better than I did. I didn't get my first mechanical keyboard, which is like a Corsair, till I was like 25. I'm still trying to sell my 268.2. Someone please cop. Thanks, Christopher. People were trying to get in line on Reddit. They're like, if the guy doesn't pull through, I'm like, I think someone was trying to bait me for a bid too, to get me banned. As an investor, what? There's no investing. How many boards am I buying at the same time? I mean, I have savings for hobbies, so like I can buy multiple at the same time if I truly want. Okay, this one has a bit of overhang I need to trim, but I don't ever do that. It always trips me out that people are like, oh, I can't buy your thing because I need to wait for my paycheck. I'm like, please don't buy whatever I'm selling if you're waiting for a paycheck. That's concerning. 5 years of MX Blues, you crazy. Yeah, no HK gaming. Let me unblock the first. No clones. We don't do clones out here. If you can't afford keycaps, like you can't afford GMK, don't go buy something else. If you absolutely need that colorway, then save up money for it. Like, there's entitlement in people coming into the hobby. Like, I wasn't around when it ran for GB, so I must buy a fake. I'm like, no, you have no right to have been able to buy it at a certain price. And if you were here later than the GB, then that sucks. But to like intentionally devalue the work of the people that are in the hobby, that made the hobby that you are trying to enjoy, I'm not down with. So EBP 909 is not clone. I saw that Jones, and I'm just like, why would I buy that?
Subscriber family.
Is my shark counter? Wait, there it is. Thanks for the sub. Because there's a bunch of like cheaper keycap options that have colors. You just don't get the original. Like, just because I wasn't around to buy a house at a certain price doesn't mean like I deserve. I kind of deserve to have a house, but like, it's just the reality of it. You make the best choices for the time that you're in, what's available in front of you, and really, if you're trying to enjoy the hobby, buying clones is not the right thing to do. Because the hobby is dope because of people designing things and making them a reality. Are there any boards that I'm going to keep? Yeah, I'm keeping that one. How did I first learn to solder? On my first keyboard, June. Which is this, well, I started first on the TX87 SE. I had a friend like guide me through it, and then I built a Savage 65 after. I do not play any instruments. Yeah, there's plenty of in-stock options that are not ripoffs too. Canon Keys dropped a few. Kinetic Glass has dropped a few. Sango is super nice. I don't think I bought extra PCBs my first time, but for anyone starting out, I would recommend it. Not that you'll break your first PCB, but just to have it. It's a good idea. Am I gonna make a video on the Gathering ink stabs? No, they're just expensive Durocs. People said they're the straightest stabs ever, but I put that to a test by not holee modding and it still ticked. I'm like, what's the point? Fave board from each form factor? That's just too broad of a question, Hanson. I don't like every form factor. Like, I don't like 40s. And I don't like TKLs. So I don't keep in mind what my favorite of those form factors are. The KBT67 Lite B stock for 89 would be a steal. I want to try MX Blacks. I put inks in the Sangha and didn't really like it. It just sounded quiet. I was like, what happened to your clack, bro? Everything I knew and loved, gone. Do you think people should stop seeking endgame boards? What does that mean? What does that question mean? I agree people should stop sprinting for it. B stock means it's like lower quality. There's some like scuffs on it. Hi Q. Best way to correct bent stabs, throw about. You can try to bend it straight with pliers, but I don't trust my ability to do that properly. What's most stocky linear? Inks. It depends on the board and plate and mounting too. Like you put a switch in an acrylic case and acrylic plate, it's gonna sound thocky, even if it's an alpaca, which is known to be clacky. It's not fail product. I feel like there's like Z stock. There's like worse tiers. It's like not 100%, but I would say like 90, 95. It failed the 100% qualification for people in the GB. So they gave them a 100% unit and they're selling the like 90, 95% units at a cheaper price. Failed is too strong, I think. I already got PE foam, PCB foam. Case foam, try case foam Elcon. Thocky is a subjective word. Sure. I would say a deeper sound, like a deeper tone is what I classify as thocky. Versus like an ink. If an ink on aluminum is stocky. An MX black on aluminum is usually not, and is usually a different, like, higher pitch sound. Am I getting the upcoming F2? I don't like TKLs. So I'll get one for the sake of making content, or I'll try and get rid of it. Per usual. That's why I got rid of the frog. It doesn't pass QC test? Yeah. I agree with that one. One of the most tilting things is when people describe clacky boards as stocky. Sometimes people just like use that word for everything they like. Like they'll like a sound and be like, dude, that's so thocky. I'm like, I'm really confused here. Because we just did top mount MX Black on aluminum. So when I would play with a better choice on seeking Thock than FR4 with ink blacks, FR4 is just gonna be quieter. I don't even know how to describe that for inks. Like FR4 plate PC8X was like the most muted. Like it wasn't even like a deep sound. It just sounded like almost like silent for the Gathering inks. I built that for someone. I was like, what the hell is this? Just call it umami. That's like the most confusing word. Why not? Why mod pipe is because it's more symmetrical, bro. Or hollow as stocky. That's just incorrect. What are the thoughts on people overlubing for Thock? That's a preference thing. You can definitely do that. That's a thing. Lighter lube is gonna be a higher pitch sound. More lube is gonna be a thockier sound, or a deeper sound, deeper tone. There's nothing wrong with that. And some people just like overlubed. Like some people legit just like overloop their switch to sluggishness and they like the sound, and they can totally do that because it's a hobby of preference. Alpacas on Braz is so thocky. I either like, it depends. If they're excited about something, I'll just let them be happy. I'm not there to be the police of everyone. FR4 plates are meant for higher pitched switches? Not necessarily, it just depends. You just try it out. You can you can like the sound of inks on FR4. I just don't. Like, there's very few hard and set rules, but there are suggestions. So like, an alpaca or a mauve or an H1 typically sounds good on an FR4 plate, whether it's gasket or top mounted or sandwich mounted. An ink sounds pretty good. Like, most people like the sound of inks on palm. Now, does that mean you can't use alpacas on palm? No. Does that just mean you can't use inks on FR4? No. But if you have zero idea, that's what I'm going to recommend for you. Because more likely than not, you're going to ask people after you build your board, how's this sound? And I would rather recommend something that most people will like, so you have a better chance of being happy, than to just fucking tell you preference, bro. That's not really a helpful suggestion, because a lot of people only got one swing at soldering it. What are these stabs for? You're not allowed to say. Someone just hired me to do stabs. They wanted to help me out, so they just commissioned me to do a little bit of work because they didn't need a board built, and I was like, dope. I appreciate the support, my friend. You inconsistently loot clown? That's the worst. You can't use leftover desk key films because they're not adhesive. You can tape them down. That's what Epsilon mod is, and I'm not doing a double-sided tape. That takes too much effort. The restock DIY kit to the original? No, there should be no difference. I agree, Vex. It's like the most unhelpful non-answer you can give. Preference. Like, if the question warrants it, then sure. Like, if someone just asked me with no context, what's the best 60%? I'm like, I can't really help you, man. And I really don't want to say preference, but the answer is preference. I've gotten paid to do less, question mark. I mean, I get paid to build keyboards. This is a 60% keyboard. This is called the Unicorn, and it's on a keep mat. And if you want to buy a keep mat, type !KEEBMAT. I have a 5% code to buy these mats from KeepMat. They're 4mm desk mats, pretty thick, and they have 60% layout or 6% size, 65% size, 75/TKL size, 40% size, and an Alice size, which I've never seen before. And if you buy that from them, I get a kickback. So you can support me by buying a desk mat. What? Someone just joined? Tai, thank you. Wait, did you join again or just like resub? Thanks, man. I don't know. Sometimes that is like jacked up because I'm not seeing anything on my screen. Stock springs on alpha keys and tighter 80-gram springs on the rest of the keys. That's hilarious. Is it hot swap or solder? Why does every keyboard do a 5% discount? Like, wow, that's gonna help so much. It's better than 0% discount. You want 0, Ren? Sure, do 0. But then I get nothing. So take your 5% discount so I can get my cut. Holee mod versus Hump Your Stabs mod. For the sake of them, for the reason that they called it like whatever the fuck hump, I'm not gonna try it. It just sounds ridiculous. But I think there was a video where they said they put like tape underneath the wire portion. I was like, all right, that sounds reasonable. I'll try that one day. I'm just not in a rush because I like, for the most part, figure out what worked. Except yesterday, that plume spacebar just needed to be thrown out. It's hot, so it's okay. Lucky clown. I need plate mount stops for my board because stock ones are terrible. Durock. Buy the plate mounts from Novel Keys. I forgot which one they were. I forget if it's Durock or Gateron, but those worked pretty well. No lube at all PTFE tape. Yeah, I saw it. They called it like hump or whatever, right? I know it's different, and I just think it's dumb that they try to make a sexual innuendo out of using PTFE tape, which is just literally using a different tape for an existing stabilizer modification type. Do the bigger springs on the caps bigger springs affect feel at all? Yeah, they feel different. They're longer. So if they're longer spring, it's a different feel. Right, should I get... I think I should get a PCB so I can test this. So Savage PCB, I don't even own a Savage anymore. I just lifted pads on this and I never got rid of it. I tried using the cutout from the desk included stab pad that's 3M adhesive on it and still will not stick on the GMK Pro Goat stabs. Didn't those stabs have factory lube, Han? Yeah, some stabs don't have clearance. C3 stabs don't have clearance for holee. Besides holee and band-aid mods or stabs, will have some other mods I feel really benefit the acoustics. There's not really benefiting acoustics. We're really just trying to fix some bad noises. Do you want to see how? Look how gross this is. This hasn't been soldered or touched for a year and a half. So this is what old flux looks like. Just FYI. Just FYI. I don't even know if this is using the no clean stuff. It looks absolutely horrible. Have you seen the stabilizer tester from SWAT keys? Yeah, I think that's dumb too. Just use the PCB. But there is a use case. My buddy said he likes to work on stabs like away from his keyboards. Yeah, C3s don't work with holee mod from what I've encountered. Spring type recommendation for tactiles depends on how you the feel. It depends on the tactility of the switch too. Because like holee pandas, even like a 62 gram like holee panda type switcher like the Boba U4 Thok 62 gram still feels super heavy. It feels way heavier than a 65 gram linear because the tactility is fighting it a little bit, making it feel heavier to cross that tactile bump. I've heard the Bubble 75 sound test sounds like ass. I don't want to look at it if it sounds like ass. If a keyboard sounds like ass, I'm really concerned because like it's really hard to make a keyboard sound bad these days. There's so much like existing design out there. So if you somehow have something that sounds like ass, I'm concerned. Like, what did you do? I'll play what I use for lavender. Did you try FF4 at aluminum? Those two. I don't like brass plates, so I never recommend that. Top 3 Franken switches? I fucking hate Franken switches. I literally buy the Band-Aid brand from Target, so I don't really know. And I'm not taking a caliper to Band-Aids, bro. I'm just not. There's zero chance I'm gonna do that. Okay, Han. What you do is, you know how people are wrap it around, right? So they have the Band-Aid on the slope and they wrap around the top. Don't do this part. Cut this off. Like literally, my Band-Aids are just like this. It goes up the slope and I just press it in. I don't do that wrap anymore. Because what I've noticed is the tension from the wrap pulls on the top part and it just slowly over time pops out and now it's free flying and now your wire is gonna slap it. So I just don't even put that on anymore. Are you still mad over the melted split backspace for my GMK Rudy set? Daniel, why you gotta bring that up? You just opened the wound again. Now I need a band-aid for that. But no, I'm not. I just work around it. If you want to try Franken switch, just wait for someone to make a JWK produced factory version. For real. Vendors be trying to push out so many freaking switches that they take the Franken switches that we like and they just sell a variant of it just to sell you on more switches. I feel like most of us have like 1,000 switches and like 3 keyboards. And I'm sure most of you don't even all have hotspot boards or have an FR301. So what are you gonna do? Buy more keyboards to use those switches? Without doing that over time, will the loop make it loose? No, I haven't noticed that. What has been my experience of longevity of holee mod? I haven't had to redo it. If I have an issue with a stab, it usually happens right away. That reminds me, I gotta lube a bunch of switches too. About keycaps to convince myself to buy another keyboard? Bro, that's bad financial decisions. I've been there. Hotspot 75 right now? I don't even know. Most of the hotspots I've seen are solder. It's hard to recommend ID80 because it doesn't sound the best. And it doesn't, but it sounds better than a freaking GMMK Pro. Some people will be saying PE foam modded GMMK Pro sounds super good. I don't know. I feel like you can PE foam mod an ID80 too. Need for keycaps for your keyboards? I have a lot of keycaps. I love GMK muted, but like the boards I keep don't really match with muted. The ID8 is a little hollow, but we were kind of stuck with only case foam for modding, but now we have tape mod. I feel like someone needs a tape mod in ID80. I feel like I should tell Hippio to try to tape mod in ID80. Would I recommend a Theris 75 for someone who doesn't like bounce in the tapping experience? Fuck no, what? Why'd you go to Theris 70 if you don't like bounce? That's the wrong board. Billiards equipment? I haven't really gotten into that. I used to play a little bit of pool. I was not very good at it. And I saw the Jelly Tail mod. I got bored of the sound. Favorite spring if I had to pick one to put in every switch? TX 65 gram? TX 65 gram 16 mil or like a Sprit 63.5 slow curve? I use BDZ, I don't use dielectric anymore. Dielectric is so messy. I have holee modded Durac VTs and a slight tick when I tap it. Any tips? Replace it. So I had an issue with the Durac V2 that was holee modded yesterday in the plume. I tried everything to fix it. I ended up just throwing it out. I just threw it out. I just threw it out. It's an expensive fix, but sometimes the manufacturing tolerance is just bunk. The wire looked fine, it wasn't working, so I just threw it out. Did your mod have to pay a month's rent for me? No, I gave it to him retail and he gave me a little bit more as a wedding gift. So I was like, oh, thanks. You didn't have to. I think I owed him some money for something, so I was like, here's retail minus 100. And he was like, no, I'm gonna give you more. I was like, oh, thanks. And he loves it. I'm wrapping up. Wanna go to the truck? Alright. Dielectric grease leaked into my desk. For real, Adam, it's so messy. And the problem is the container for the dielectric grease, even if you put it in a bag, becomes completely covered in lube. And I'm just like, this is disgusting. I don't want to touch this. I got into pool into college and still got pretty good. And I spent hundreds on equipment. I feel like in college, when I was trying to date this girl, the guy who she ended up dating was good at pool and rode a motorcycle. So that was probably my mistake. I should have learned how to play pool. I feel like the Gateron ink styles are a little too expensive. The cap for the grease cracked? Yeah, that happens. That's like a common thing. It cracks in the same way for everybody. It's super funny and unfortunate. Like, you should throw it out. It's like not even expensive. Just throw out the whole thing. But then people try to still use it. I'm like, that's bad. Maybe some motorcycle? Yeah. I would date a guy in a motorcycle too. How do you keep band-aids from coming off over time? Press it into the stem. And don't lube around it. I guess if you get the band-aid to cover the entire thing, lube can't get underneath it. Are the KBD67 lights out? Do I need to enter? Use better band-aids? Yeah, use the Band-Aid brand. Don't use some cheapo stuff. Dude, these switches are so scratchy. Okay, I put a bad switch into these. They're all super scratchy. freaking MX Blacks. I'm gonna go grab some inks. Thank you, Sulfur. I appreciate the kind words. I'm on the old school MKBHD grind. Slow and steady. Sometimes it dips a low, sometimes it goes up. I don't need the virality. I just need consistency, bro. I'm gonna grab some lube linears. Wait. I have red queens here. That's fine. These are sold. I mean, you have to get lube on them. It makes sense. Because the lube needs to go on the wire. So these switches got sold today. Someone from the community is buying them. What's up, Daryl? Do you think it would be possible to do a holee FC mod hybrid since a bandit already has a sticky side? I think I've tried it and it was too thick. The red queens are just JWKs. I don't really feel a difference in the spring. My fingers might be weird. I just didn't spend that much time with it. It was okay. I didn't feel like I was gonna go out of my way and buy this though. Because they are more expensive because of the spring. The 2C spring is supposed to feel different. Alright, that works. Now let's swap the spacebar. What I might do, because like you can plug the butt, but plugging the butt risks of getting it overlubed. And I feel like I'm not gonna plug the butt so that if there's some issue during shipping and the lube moves around, the end user can just put a little bit more lube in the back and it'll be fine. I'm hesitant to plug the butt if there's no issue. I totally agree with you, Ego. Brand says, how many people are going to show up to the PO box and they're going to meet me? Brand, you know what's funny? That is my PO box. They shipped a shark suit to the PO box, and because Amazon doesn't care if it's like a resident, it's like a PO box. PO box is closed, but Amazon will ship stuff until like 10 p.m. right? We missed the suit like 3 times because Amazon would try to deliver after 7 when the PO box closes, or 8. And it would just be like the next day and there's like a new driver and they just do the same fucking thing again. It was like an accident, but it was kind of sad. What set did the keycaps? Oh, these are GMK Taro. There you go. So I plug with 205, the same lube I use for the wires. You lube the whole switch with 105? That's gonna be a super clacky switch. Might still be scratchy. 105 doesn't hide scratch that well. Alright, so all the stabs are fine. Let's go check the 6.25 view. B-Stock KD67 Lite is worth getting. Is it still in stock, Macho? Because I'm about to tweet that shit right now. Yes, it's worth it. I'm gonna give you 10 seconds to buy it before I tweet it. I'm gonna go on KD Fans right now. No cap. KD Fans. Make sure you use my link, by the way. Are you guys aware of my link? Caught the B-Stock KD67 Lite was one of my thoughts on the stock stabs. I haven't used the PC stabs, but I'm sure they're fine. There's 6 wet ones in stock. I'm gonna tweet that shit right now, so you guys better cop. Make sure you use my link. I'm gonna give you guys a link first, okay? We chill? I'm gonna go find it. KBDfans.com. What are some good starter boards that are regularly in stock? The Savage 65 has been regularly in stock, so it's been pretty cool. I like to see that. What's up, Danny? So where's the board? Compatible keycaps collection. Where's the board? Restock? Alright, I have it. I'm gonna make an affiliate link right now. Y'all better cop from me before I post this. I'm gonna tweet it. I'm gonna fucking tweet it. Alright, where is it? I don't know what link I just made. Here you go. Is this it? How do different dielectric grease into 5? Dielectric is a little heavier. It's a little deeper. You found the sweet spots to hide the scratch? Nice, clown. We're copying KB67 lights. I'm letting you guys do it right now before I tweet it. I'm gonna tweet it at 5:20. Songless still has black one keyless? Nice. They ran out of grays, so I thought that was hilarious. How did Teja's LXOS stat sound so good with XHC, BDZ, and dielectric grease? Wait, what? Wait, did they use it together in the same stab? Three left? Yo, you guys better cop. Come on, cop. It's a good ass board. Real talk, it's a good ass board. Win keyless or HHKB? I like win keyless more, but on it, as far as 60, I like standard. Standard is the most useful. Because you can do fake arrows on the 60. Nice, eh? Just try it. It's a hot swap. Literally just try the clear PC1. If it doesn't work, then you can buy Durag. How's material texture on the kickback compared to normal mats? It's the same. Okay, let me get a GMK mat. It's about the same. Where's the B-Stock link? What's the best gaming lube? What's up, Tempest? Also known as Tapist. On your tombstone, it's gonna say Tapist, right? B-Stock has a little bit more scuss on it. It's like usually some kind of external mark. Might just get a keymat. All my mats get so dirty, plus being at seeing more deaths. Yeah, I miss my wood. I miss seeing my wood. Have I tried Gathering Cap V2? Nah, but I heard good things. People are saying like it's like inks. Yeah, Brand, for you, don't use the 5% off code. I'm just kidding. Use the 5% off code. It's how I sustain myself. Just that specific link. Kidding. You gotta use one for the rest of your life modded. GMK Pro or Keycon or ID80? Oh, I need another. I can't answer about the key one, man. I'm on embargo. I can't say shit. And I don't like 75s that much. Where's the B-Stock? Someone link me the B-Stock so I can make a link for it. Let's see. Bro, why you gotta be like that here? I got the link for B-Stock. 1 second, chat. Where's that link? Is this B-Stock? I'm trying to find it. Here we go, here's B-Stock. A stock? Shit. Can I edit messages? God damn it. There you go. Well, mods are back for the GMK Pro. People have been saying the P phone mod sounds good. I absolutely hate that mod, but y'all can try it. Thoughts on 3-hole keyboards? They're cheap and fun. I'm done right now. This is the last thing I need to do. My fiance is pissed because she wants to go to the food truck. They have cases only, right? You have to buy the case and piece B separately. I would get the B stock, but Divinity has it too, and you can buy using my affiliate links because I got links for both. I don't care where you buy from, but you please use my links. So there's a Divinity link on there. Try to make use of the KV67 Lite case and upgrade to the V3. You can get another PCB, but then I don't know how you can get the silicone. Yeah, I would not do the. I don't like the PFOAM mod personally because it makes things sound like the jelly, and I got rid of the jelly because I got tired of the jelly sound. But I'm a very specific use case because I am spoiled with boards, and some people just enjoy the sound of the jelly epoch. That's fine. I have gotten to like my certain type of sound. What's the purpose of going plateless? Is it worth it? It's just bounce here. You can see the bounce in the Thera 75's review video. So Divinity had palm and F4 plates for the KD7 Lite. Yeah, Divinity is a pretty good vendor. I know one of the owners, IRL. He's pretty dope. Agreed, Danny. Agreed. You get like there's certain sounds that sound good, but it's just not something you want to hear forever. It's very similar to. I'm using this mic right here because it's the RE20. I like the sound, and a lot of people like the SM7B sound because they like listening to it. But I find that the SM7B sound is a little bit more fatiguing because you hear it all the time. The sound signature of that microphone is very deep and Joe Rogan-y, and I just tired of it. So I like this mic. Now, is it a better sound? No, it's just a different sound. I can listen. I like hearing my voice on this mic for longer periods of time. So I run with it. And then I have a fucking SM7B in the drawer because I'm excessive. Restock sold out now? Nice. Y'all cleared out. I stream on YouTube Tuesdays and Thursdays, Matthew. The sound you go for an ollie board is so addicting, I don't blame you at all. Thanks, Cody. Did y'all clear out the KD7 Lite? Any comments on the Odin? What's the Odin? Let me look at it real quick. I gotta dip in the next few minutes. KD fans Odin. Let's see. 1 second. Need to change my screen. Okay, this is the Odin. How do you not make all switches sound the same on a jelly? They sound very similar on the jelly because of the PFOAM, but they don't sound as the same as GMK Pro. What's up, Carter? I didn't know there's gonna be restock either. Y'all aren't telling me. Have a good day, clown. Thanks for hanging out with us. Odin. That's a cool workboard. That's expensive though, but I guess it's from the material. Should I ask Wade to send me one of these? Looks cool. Burgundy red. Oh, there's A stock on AliExpress. Yeah, the Jelly Epoch is built around that foam. You gotta run it. You gotta run it. Tangerines are black inks. One is high pitch and one is lower pitched. I personally like black ink, but it's gonna be up to you. Listen to the sound test. Make your own choices. All right. I have finally finished the stabs. While talking with you, it only took an hour and 40 minutes. Amazing. I did not get paid enough. In terms of hourly wage, that was shit. But most of it was spent hanging out with you guys, answering your questions, and it's been fun. It's just a little bit more, it keeps my hands a little busy. It's almost as bad as looping switches, but I had to do it today. Thanks for hanging out with me. I'll see you on, am I streaming Saturday? I have to stream Saturday. What? At night? When's your car appointment? I'm streaming on the afternoon on Saturday. So I'll see you on the afternoon on Saturday, so I can move his appointment. I always got like adult things to do on Saturday. Can the Theris NFI be jelly alternate? Yeah, pretty much. Should I buy an extra plate or something for the case? The 67 light? You don't need another plate. 75% hot swap? There's not a lot of 75% hot swaps, man. Look for something on KVD fans. ID 80 is a little hollow, but that's the most accessible. Adult things like chores and errands. On Saturday, I had to take my dog to the vet where they're doing something with his butthole, so. Is he embarrassed? Yeah, my dog has issues. The vet needs to stick their finger in his butthole. I looked it up, what they're gonna do. I'm like, I'm not doing that. And I got my fiance got to get her car fixed. Hopefully you enjoyed that little tidbit about my dog. Someone's question: what plate material do you suggest when pairing OP black switches? Aluminum F4? I don't think there's one that sounds bad. For sure, dear. I'll try. Alright. Peace out, everybody. Have a wonderful... What day is it? The fuck? Thursday.